For this review, I'm going to be stretched a little bit as I'm entering the edges of my learning with the crypto adventure. Each thing you learn, there's 10 more things to learn. Either way, I'm going to be looking at the exchanges. I want to just show you the journey so far. I am finding, as a Canadian, Shakepay to get my currency in as an on-ramp. In part because if I shake my phone, I earn free Satoshis, and I can get Bitcoin or Ethereum at a reasonable spread, usually just over 2%. Or if I'm willing to be patient, use a bank transfer, I use Newton. And then I'm using Atomic as my first choice for my wallet and for staking and getting returns on any of the ERC20 or coins. But then it comes time to exchanging. I don't really want to use Atomic as there'll be a higher fee for the exchanging or the swapping. So of course Binance is one that is the big one. Binance and Coinbase. Coinbase I haven't actually been very happy with. I tried it out a little bit. It only has 65 trading pairs, whereas something like Binance has 599. KuCoin, 430 trading pairs. Kraken, 155. So first off, I want to back up and just talk about a little bit about what an exchange is. I have discovered IDEX, which is completely decentralized and is non-custodial. This is the IDEX exchange. They don't have an app, but there is a 2.0 version coming out soon, and I'm really happy with the IDEX for trying to find ways to trade some of these unique ERC20 tokens that are otherwise hard to find. If I don't want to be on Binance, using that interface because I don't have the Binance coins, the BNBs, and having to have this sort of intermediate coin all the time and really getting pulled into their ecosystem. Also, some of them are just hard to find tokens, and IDEX has been pretty good for this. So I'm going to use the the Rocket Pool token and use this as an example just to explain how the exchange works here. So if you're on a computer, of course, it's a much better view. I wouldn't really use my phone to try and trade on IDEX, but as I'm recording the video, this is a good way to show just the concept. So if I go down, I can do a limit order. So I can place an order for a buy and decide what price that I want to buy some. Or I can also say, no, I want to sell my RPL, and as long as I have some in my wallet and I've synced IDEX up, I can make some deposits there and sell. So, but what I want to show is, here are the asks. So somebody here is trying to sell 60 RPL for 0.0786. Okay, and there's a whole lot of other people trying to sell theirs and they're asking, and these are the people that are bidding on it. So somebody's wanting 41 RPLs and they're bidding 0.00745. So they're bidding 745 and somebody's trying to sell at 786. And for these lower volume tokens, it'll sit like this sometimes for a while. You'll see a whole bunch more orders being added, either to the ask side, the sell, or to the bid side. And right now there's not many bids changing around. People are sitting, but lots of people are changing their ask price. And that helps me just understand exactly what's happening with the exchange. I have some tokens I want to sell. I set it up on the exchange, and I try and find someone who wants to buy it. This is completely decentralized and non-custodial. They're just matchmaking me to find someone, and I can make my trade. And I've quite liked that experience, and I think there's a lot of future for IDEX. It's growing and expanding, and on one of the other videos I think I'm going to try and get some of the IDEX tokens just to be able to hold them and join into this ecosystem and support them. But for this review, I'm going to mainly just focus on the apps that are available, though I am using this for some of the more hard to find tokens. The first app I'm going to look at is the Binance, and I'm going to I've picked a coin that's available on all of them, the XRP Ripple. So on Binance, to get the XRP, you can see it's paired with BNB, the Binance coin. And if I go back to the home here, I just search XRP, I'll show you what I mean, XRP. So these are the trading pairs that are available, and when they have that little yellow box beside it, that means it's margin trading or some sort of leveraging outside of my knowledge right now, but generally means higher return or higher loss. So I'm not checking that out. So I don't have an XRP to ETH or to Bitcoin, maybe some stable coins. For most of the things I'm finding on Binance, it's all about having BNB, Binance coins, and trading to and from that. So I'd have to trade it for some Binance coins, which means I have to have a bunch of Binance coins. Their display is a little crowded, but not terrible. I can look down here on the bottom, and I can see that there's some bids of 0.01178 and there's some asks of 0.01179. So the price is very close together, and you can almost just do an over-the-counter trade on this and get what you want. And you can kind of see a sense of the volume, what's happening. You can see the bidding versus asking, so it gives you a sense of where the momentum is shifting. Are the people who are trying to buy winning out, or the people who are trying to sell winning out? If I want to buy, I can tap the buy, and I can set up a limit order, or I'll tap sell, and I can set up a limit sell if I had some. I don't have either in there, but the interface isn't terrible. It does somewhat make sense, but it's also a little bit overwhelming, but that's because there's lots of features. So Binance is okay. However, it is based out of China and then moved to Malta. There seems to be tension with China and Binance versus some of the other exchanges that are there. But it is not decentralized, and it is it is custodial. So you don't really want to leave your money on an exchange. The idea of an exchange is to go, make a trade, and remove your crypto. The fees are 0.1% for the maker, 0.1% for the taker. They do have some referral programs where you can sign up through the link, and then you can get a discount on your trades. And they do have a lot of coins available. Okay, there's also a Binance DEX. They don't have an app, but it's another website where it's a decentralized version of Binance. It was quite interesting. I was learning about it. They only have 85 tokens, and if I'm going to use a decentralized exchange, I might as well just go over to IDEX. Okay, next, Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the most popular exchanges, and I kind of understand why, because it's an easier interface, I suppose, for beginners, but very limited choices. I'll show you what happens here if I click the trade and I want to convert. So I can say, all right, I want to go on my froms, say Ethereum to find XRP. Oh. And then I could play around with this. Now, because I don't have any funds in there, it doesn't even give me the price, or it doesn't even give me any sense of what the cost will be. And if you do a little digging, it's quite expensive. It's basically a 0.5% for a fee for the maker, and I think it's maybe 0 for the taker. I'm not sure, but about 5 times the cost or 3 times the cost, depending if it's averaged out. Anyways, it's much more expensive. If you were to try and start buying crypto inside of Coinbase, it they take a 4% fee on the credit card, and even just the buying and selling, there's a transaction fee anywhere from $1 to $3 if you're trying to buy or sell. So you wouldn't want to be buying and selling cryptocurrency inside of Coinbase, in my opinion. And even the spread is sitting around 2%. So it is American based out of San Francisco, as far as I can tell. They do show Canadian prices, but I'm not really interested in the Coinbase. Not enough pairs, trading pairs, and too expensive. So we're down to Kraken and KuCoin. These come up in a lot of the discussions. A lot of people are using it, and I'm definitely leaning towards one of these two. The KuCoin is actually the one I'm leaning towards. It has 430 trading pairs, so lots of trading pairs. I don't love the splash screen. Like when you first come in, there's often these ads, and you've got these, I don't know, movement and distraction. I feel like I'm on a 1990s website with pop-ups and flashing lights. It does have this interesting check-in for candies. You can tap it, and you get candies. I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do with them, but I'll get some sort of reward, I guess. All right, so let's take a look at trading here. So I'll tap the trade. So there's my buy, sell. I was looking at the KuCoin token. I don't know what advantages I get with that, but probably some discounts on my trading costs. So let's look at XRP. I have several to choose from. 259, so again, pretty close. And I do let you have the maximum minimum buttons, and I can tap to buy or I can tap to sell. If I tap one of these prices, like this 8260, I can tap that. I have a very small phone screen. It's just an iPhone SE original, so some of the things do get cut off. But I find the trading interface to be fairly easy to use, and as someone that's new to the market, I like this. It does have futures. I'm not going to go into any of the futures because everything I'm reading is that's how you can multiply your profits, but more realistically, multiply your losses. And it does sort of show me what I currently have deposited. KuCoin also has some rewards with the referral. Of course, I'll post those down below. I haven't played around with the PoolX staking. As far as I can tell, the staking is better off being done in the Atomic wallet or whatever wallet that you're using. So I'm going to leave staking out of my exchange. So KuCoin is the one I'm leaning towards. I'll show you Kraken Pro only because everyone talks about Kraken. It has 155 pairs, so low but not the lowest. So if I'm in here and I want to do a trade, I need to tap new order. And it's a really crowded interface, but anyways, I want to do a limit. And I'll search here. I already have XRP. So this shows you how the pairs work. It is kind of a nice interface. So XRP, I can trade that for Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, Bitcoin, XBT. But I can't do it with DAI. You can do it with the Tether. So this shows you the combinations. So with the Ethereum, and it'll say unavailable. So I can't go Stellar to Ethereum, which is odd. I would think I would be able to, but anyway, so this is how you can see all of your trading pairs. And I can tap, and I can see the 8259 is currently what they're listing the price at, and now I can see my orders. And I think if I tap this, does it bring it up? It does. It shows I can tap any one of those trade buy or sell offers. And so Kraken's okay, but it's got less pairs. And sometimes some of the other ones I was looking for in here, I'm like, oh, I can't actually do it. Kraken is based out of San Francisco, United States, whereas KuCoin is based out of Singapore, which always is, you get nervous just because of government influence and so on. FTX, I've been listening to a podcast out of Australia, and he's often talking about FTX. I might look at that after, but it doesn't have many trading pairs, and it seems to be more about indices and margins and some of those kind of more leveraged exchanging, and that's not where I'm at. I don't have the skill set to enter into that. But I was looking for a way to get some of the other coins and in a way that I can just swap for them and then get them back to my wallet. KuCoin is cheaper. It's the same as Binance. KuCoin is 0.1 for the maker and 0.1% for the taker, whereas Kraken's a bit more expensive, 0.16 and 0.26. A person doesn't mind paying a little bit more in fees if you know that it's going to a company that's developing and growing and going to be able to last and support you. Crypto.com, this app, man, it sure feels like a Ponzi scheme. It's great. I'm quite curious about it. They finally have expanded now into Canada, and you can get a credit card. You have to hold MCO for 6 months. Once you've done that, so you buy some MCO, in this case for the red card, you buy 50 MCO. You hold it for 6 months, and then I wouldn't buy the MCO though. I'd be more inclined to trade for it and put it in there, so I'm not paying that 5% fee. And then you end up with free Spotify account and 1 or 3% return on all your repurchases. It's a metal Visa. It seems very exciting. They started with a few countries and then they added a few more countries, and you can calculate how. I mean, there's some great YouTube videos that show how they calculate how long until they get all their money back from the purchase of the MCO, and then of course they still have the MCO token, which is going up in value. So I'm curious about it. It's as they add and grow. I guess almost in some ways everything's a Ponzi scheme, I suppose. But there's something funny about it. But I may still pursue it if it's only a couple $100 in, and I can get some of the rewards back. So, but not as an exchange. I would not use that as an exchange. So in terms of exchanges, right now, my choice is KuCoin and bringing a currency in, making an exchange, and then taking that currency out and storing it in Atomic Wallet as needed so that I can stake or just hold on to it in my wallet. If I'm looking for something decentralized or something specific, I'll look at the IDEX platform first. And I suppose it is very possible that I may have to turn to Binance at times for certain coins too. And I'm not opposed to it, but it will mean having to buy some BNB and keeping this account active. So between those three, Binance, KuCoin, and IDEX, and I suppose UNISWAP, of course, another web-based interface, I should be able to handle all the crypto coins that I discover and read about and decide that I want to buy $20 worth or something and hold on to that $20 worth of that coin so that it goes 1,000 times value or to the moon or whatever. So of course I will put referral links down below for you to click and sign up if you are looking to sign up for one and one of those are you're interested in, and then we both receive the benefits of the sign up. Thank you for watching.